Even if the precipitation you get in a month is the same amount, if it's very gradual throughout the month, it soaks into the soils. If it's more intense, some of it will run off, and you'll end up with less soil moisture at the end of the day, at the end of the month, than if it's distributed throughout the month. And so you end up with drier conditions. And this is what is happening around the world, so that even if there's the same amount of precipitation, conditions end up being a little drier because there's more runoff. But then, of course, there's also the evapotranspiration side. The extra heat goes into drying and then ultimately raising temperatures.
So when you do normally have a period with little rain, the soil dries faster because there's more heat.
There's more heat available and things dry out quicker, yes. Then the other factor that comes into play on this is, of course, natural variability. The biggest sources of drought around the world is El Nino phenomenon, and in recent years there have been fewer El Ninos. In El Nino, all of the action is over the Pacific, and so it draws the rain away from the surrounding continents. In La Nina conditions, which is what we've tended to see in the last decade or so more, then there's more rain on land, and so there's less drought. And so if you're dealing with climate change, you also have to factor in how things like El Nino has performed in that period. And some of the studies have not taken that into account adequately as well. So interpreting what is happening with climate change can be confused by what is happening just with natural variability from year to year.